Hello duelists, Rustmarrow here, and today we're going to be opening structure deck R, Warrior Strike. So first we have a really nice looking half dual field with got Phoenix Gearfried in the center, Expaladin on the left, and Evocator Eveque on the right. All these guys just looking so awesome, like as flame attribute armored warriors all standing together. I really love how this dual field looks. And now, into the deck. Honestly, it feels really good to like just once in a while take a break from all of that extra deck, link, XC, synchro summoning and just go back to simpler times with just main deck cards, you know. Especially with Gearfried, back in the old days, I really love playing like just the, you know, the simple warrior and equip deck. Not really Geminis, I mainly focus on just like the warrior type and equip spells, and that was just how I like to enjoy the old simple Yu-Gi-Oh! So I think this card has a lot of nostalgia and epicness for me, as well as I think a lot of other old players too. Of course, this is the flaming new God Phoenix Gearfried, and this card's first, second and third effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect, you can banish one equipped spell from your field or graveyard to special summon this card from the hand. Second effect, at the start of the damage step when this card attacks, you can equip one face-up monster on the field to this card as an equipped spell. The equipped monster gains 500 attack and only a maximum of one card can be equipped to this card using this effect this way. Now, that is a pretty cool effect. I really like that a lot. In a way, it's similar to Soul Exchange in the sense that it's a very special and unique kind of removal that the opponent can't really stop with like destruction negation or banish negation effects. They'll need a monster that is basically resistant to the opponent's monster effects or immune to effects in order to avoid it. Third effect, when a monster's effect activates, you can send one face-up equipped spell from your field to the graveyard in order to negate that activation and destroy that card. So all in all, a pretty cool boss. I think the highlight here is really that unique second effect with that equipment removal, which is really nicely balanced out with that card name once per turn restriction, so you can't really abuse it by like having 3 God Phoenix Gearfrieds on the field and like just stealing 3 of your opponent's monsters every single turn. Next, we have what I think is my favorite looking card in this entire deck, the Sublimation Knight Expaladin. This card name's first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. If this card is successfully normal or special summoned, take one fire attribute warrior type monster or one Gemini monster from your hand or deck and equip it to this card as an equipped spell. The equipped monster gains 500 attack. Second effect, if this card is destroyed by your opponent while it is equipped with a Gemini monster, special summon as many of those equipped Gemini monsters from the grave as possible, and those monsters are treated as having been Gemini summoned, so they will all have access to their Gemini effects. Dude, this card right here, like honestly, outside of Duel Links, Gemini monsters is a concept that hasn't really interested me that much. But honestly, this guy just sounds like such good generic Gemini support. Like even if you're not playing like fire attribute or warrior type, as long as you're playing a Gemini deck, it just feels like you really should put this guy in. Especially if you have other cards, which I assume are also in this deck, which basically help you to equip more of those Gemini monsters to this guy. Because upon summon with his first effect alone, you're only able to get one. But I do think some of the other cards in this deck will allow you to get more. Next up, we have a continuous trap in super rare, Gemini Abrasion, or in Japanese also known as Dual Abrasion. Just take note that for you guys who are unfamiliar, Gemini is actually dual in OCG. This card name's first effect can only be activated once per turn. During your main phase or your opponent's main phase, you can discard one card from your hand in order to activate one of the following 2 effects. First effect, special summon a Gemini monster from your deck and that monster is treated as having been already Gemini summoned. Dude, nice Gemini support! Second choice, tribute one Gemini monster on your field. Special summon one fire attribute warrior type monster from your hand or deck. And if the Gemini monster you tributed was Gemini summoned, you can also destroy one card on the field. And take note, the wording here is destroy, so there's no targeting there. Target negation will not be able to stop this destruction. But once again, I love how they are really pumping up the Gemini support with this deck. This is a continuous trap that, once again, no matter what kind of Gemini deck you're playing, it's going to be so beneficial just to have it on. I wonder when they're going to put this into Duel Links, because I feel like with the current meta system or ecosystem in Duel Links, putting in all of this Gemini support could shake things up quite a bit and like really open up the path to more like Gemini players and more Gemini decks being in play. And I love how the second effect kind of combines the support for Gemini as well as the support for Fire Warriors, specifically in this deck, just so that it becomes more versatile and useful within this context. Next, we have the Noble Knight of Flames Roland, and this card name's first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect, while this card is in your hand, target one face-up monster on your field. Equip this card from your hand to the targeted monster as an equipped spell, and the equipped monster gains 500 attack. And this is a quick effect, so you can use it on your opponent's turn as well. That is pretty cool. I like how it's a reversal of like Phoenix Gearfried and Expaladin's effects, where they basically call other cards as equips, whereas on the other hand, Roland is a card that can become an equip for the other cards in your deck. That's pretty cool, and like it's sort of like a hand trap in a sense as well, because if your opponent is attacking and trying to destroy one of your monsters and the difference in attack is like 400 or less, you can basically pull this guy out and counter him. During the end phase of the turn in which this card was sent to the graveyard, you can search your deck for one fire attribute warrior type monster that is not Roland, or one equipped spell and add it to your hand. Now that is very nice. Overall, just really cool support for like Fire Warriors and equipped decks as well. This is a reprint, I believe, the Fairy Tale Princess Cinderella, Maxi, of course, all in like this normal parallel rare. This one I'm pretty sure is new. Gearbreed, a continuous spell. This card name's first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect, during your draw phase, instead of conducting your normal draw, you may search your deck or graveyard for one equipped spell and add it to your hand. Nice, dude, this is gonna be so helpful, like especially for like a Gearfried equipped spell based deck. In fact, it will be pretty useful for like Noble Knights as well, right? You can just search out the equips that you want at any time. Second effect, if there is an equipped spell on your field, you can return one fire attribute warrior type monster or one Gemini monster from your grave to the bottom of your deck to draw one card. Nice, dude. That recycle there for like the special summon or like equip searches from the deck, as well as you gaining that card advantage with that one draw. This is a really nice card as well. Here we have another new card, I believe. Raptor, the Super Magical Blade. Of course, this is an equipped spell, and this card name's second effect can only be activated once per turn. Second effect, apply the following effect depending on the battle position of the monster that this card is equipped to. If the monster is in attack position, the equipped monster cannot be targeted by your opponent's effect. Oh, that's pretty nice. If in defense position, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle. Okay, so... well, while battle destruction negation and effect targeting negation are both pretty cool and pretty useful, like as an equipped spell, I don't think it's like that amazing, but let's check out the second effect. At the start of your battle phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can change the battle position of the equipped monster, and immediately after that, conduct an additional normal summon. Now first of all, this makes this equipped spell way better, because by like changing the position of the monster at the start of the battle phase, you can always go for that, you know, making that battle destruction come in whenever you want. Then during your turn when you want to go for the offensive, you basically get the effect targeting negation, and you guys know what that additional normal summon is for, right? Like if you've got a Gemini monster with this card equipped, you can basically instantly at the start of the battle phase Gemini summon it, even though you've only summoned it that turn. So that is some really nice Gemini support as well. Reinforcement of the Army, one of my old favorite cards. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a very nice card to many people. And moving on to more reprints, Phoenix Gearfried, Darkstorm Dragon, Evocator Chevalier. Yep, this is an old card, I believe. Heavy Knight of Flames, Night's Day Grepher. So that's one of the forms of Grepher. Blazewing Butterfly, I believe that's the TCG name for this. And followed by one of those chemical critters, Carbon Crab, Crimson Demon Fighter, I'm not sure what the English name for that is, Valkyrie Knights, the Saint Knight Joan, Blue Flame Swordsman, pretty cool to see him here, Rose the Warrior of Revenge, I mean, sorry about that. Goblinberg, very cool, especially since I just finished my Legacy of the Duelist playthrough and went through that Zale art all over again. Violent Sphere, Rainbow Kuriboh, and here we go into... this is a reprint spell, I believe, Spark Field. Okay, Supervise, of course, we need to have that. Assault Armor, not the best. The Ultimate Shield, well, that's the OCG name at least. Noble Arms of Destiny, Overdone Burial or Excessive Burial. This is the Cursed Bamboo Sword, Followed by the golden bamboo sword, of course. Gemini Spark, or Dual Spark in the OCG. Dark Factory of Mass Production. Parallel Twister. Barbarian Howling, or in English, the Battle Guard Howling. Gemini Booster. Gemini Hole, and because I've never played Gemini, I honestly didn't know they have like a trap hole for Gemini like that. Rocket Hand. The Deep Grave, or in Japanese, the Overly Deep Grave. And to end off, we have two more cards, one in Super and one in Super here, and one in Ultra over here. The monster is the one that's Ultra. And here we have Evocator Eveque. So this is a Gemini monster. While this card is on the field or in the graveyard, it is treated as being a normal monster. While on the field, of course, you can normal summon it again as a Gemini summon so that it gains the following effect. If this card is successfully summoned or special summoned, you can target one fire attribute warrior type monster or one Gemini monster in your grave other than Evocator Eveque. Special summon that monster, and this card name's effect can only be activated once per turn. So this is one of the Gemini monsters that you'll probably want to abuse in this deck in order to like force it into that situation where it is already treated as being Gemini summoned when you special summon it for the first time, and then from then you can get an additional monster from there. And now moving on to our last card, a super rare spell, Crossover. You can only activate one card with this name per turn. Target one face-up monster on your opponent's field and one warrior type monster on your field. Equip that opponent's monster to your monster as an equipped spell. However, until the end of the turn, any battle damage that monster of yours inflicts to the opponent becomes 0. If the equipped monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, the card equipped by this card is destroyed in its stead. So yes, it is basically it's basically just another form of like the God Phoenix Gearfried's like unique equipment removal. But not only that, it allows you to use that equipped card as like a destruction protection as well. So pretty cool overall, and that'll be all for this Warrior Strike opening. As I mentioned in my previous box opening, I will be giving away one copy of this structure deck, and you get to choose whether you want this Japanese OCG version or the upcoming English TCG one, so TCG players feel free to participate as well. So how do you join? All you have to do is like this video as well as leave a comment telling me what your currently most favorite warrior type monster in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh card game is. Don't have to think too much about it, you don't have to like go and scan through every single warrior type monster that's ever existed in Yu-Gi-Oh. I just want to know, like, at this point of time, if you think about like, you know, which warrior type monster that you like the most or which one you really like to use, which one is the one that comes to mind and why. After this video is uploaded, you guys will have a week to post your comments, so make sure you get your comments in by midnight on the next Friday, 4th of October, Singapore time, which is GMT +8. So do make sure like what time that is in your own time zone to make sure you guys don't miss that in order to stand a chance to win this free Structure Deck R, Warrior Strike. In any case, if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like. Let me know what you guys think about this deck in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG booster box and product openings on the day of release. Our next release is going to be something you do not want to miss. It is the next main booster, one of the final main boosters we are getting in the Reigns era on 12th October, known as Ignition Assault, which will feature the debut or the release of the Ad Ignister cards and archetype in the Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG. So make sure you guys subscribe if you don't want to miss it, and I hope to see you guys in the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. Let's go and look ahead. Our chance encounter.